On this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast, the cost of staying healthy. So, welcome back to this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast. My name is Shawn Yesner, owner and founder of Yesner Law, and I am joined in studio by your financial coach, George Corbello. How you doing, George?
I am doing extremely well, Shawn. Thank you for asking. I have to say, big shout out to my New York Knicks. We won the final championship. We won the finals. I had like several heart attacks during some of those games, but super excited. 53 years for the first time. It's been a while. But dude, it was great. It was fantastic. I gotta say.
I've always wondered. I'm gonna look it up right now. What is a knickerbocker?
Is it a train guy who does something? I don't know. That's a good question.
A knickerbocker. It's a form of baggy-kneed breeches.
Well, there you go. That
basically
makes sense.
long pants.
Long pants. I like pants.
So the entire New York basketball team is named after long pants.
I didn't say it makes sense. I just said I'm cheering for the team, brother.
The New York long pants.
But it was a good week. It was a good time. Very happy, proud of the team, excited. Again, minimal riots in New York, so I'm very happy about how that worked out. We got some damage out in New York. We have some crazy people in New York City. Come on, really? I
can't imagine.
But it was, dude, very excited for the fan base, very excited for the team. Looking forward to next year. Let's put it like that.
Congratulations to the Knicks. Now we got to work on the Jets.
Yeah. Again, that's that. I have enough money to give away to be able to ask for favors and uncursings and everything like that. So no, but hopefully we'll say.
Well, hopefully in 50 years from now we'll be celebrating the next Knicks win.
Yeah, I'll be
in the NBA Finals.
I'll be in my new body at that point. Yes.
And I guess later, as we're recording, USA Soccer's want to know.
Let's go.
I know we've got a game tonight. As we're
World
recording
Cup.
the day of the game, so World Cup game. I've been kind of following the World Cup. So it's, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but I guess FIFA put out, or some company put out with FIFA's backing, sticker books. So they sell that. I know they have them at CVS because that's where we get them. CVS. I think Walmart has them.
Okay.
I think Target has them. I think Amazon has them.
Amazon has everything.
But they're basically sticker books.
Yeah.
So you get the stickers instead of playing cards, the football cards, baseball cards, whatever. They're stickers.
Nice.
And you go into a sticker book. My son is obsessed.
Really?
Obsessed.
Okay.
To the point, and we'll get into this story. I had to go to CVS yesterday to get some Tylenol and Advil. But while I was there, they're $2 a pack.
Okay.
For a pack of 10.
That's pretty good
cards.
because there's some packs that can be very expensive. But
10 stickers.
Gotcha.
So $20 worth. I got them 10 packs. $20 worth of stickers.
All right.
But
what did you do? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. I have no idea what player they are. They're all waiting on his desk for him to open them when he gets home from his friend's house.
Nice.
But he is heavy into collecting the World Cup stickers and sticker books. So that's not an inexpensive hobby I'm dealing with right now.
There is no hobby that's inexpensive. So I'm glad he chose the World Cup, for 2026.
Yeah. So speaking of things that are not inexpensive,
shocking.
You want to hear what happened to me this past weekend?
How was your weekend, Shawn? Please tell me.
Actually, it didn't happen to me.
Yeah, okay.
I watched it happen.
What did you do? Mm-hmm.
So every year, my networking group has what they call a boat day.
Yep.
So we all go out on friends' boats, friends that have boats, or there's a Freedom Boat Club down here that rents boats on a monthly basis. And so we all jump in people's boats, and we drive out to the sandbar. We were off of Honeymoon Island, which is in the Dunedin area for those people that know it. And we drive, out to the sandbar, and everybody brings drinks and alcoholic, non-alcoholic, food, the whole 9 yards. And we just all hang out, we swim, we party, whatever. So I went. It was me and both of my boys, and my girlfriend went with us. And we were out on the water having a good time. Well, my son, a bunch of people were jumping off of the top tower of the boat that we rode out on into the water.
Oof. Okay.
And the guy also had one of those huge foam mats that, he tied to the boat. So you could stand on the mat, sit on the mat, lay down on the mat, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're kind of towards the end of the day. We'd kind of targeted at like 2:00 to
start coming
back to the dock.
Sure.
So it's about 1:15, 1:30. My son says, I'm going to do one more jump off the top of the boat onto the mat.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, he's been doing it all day.
Doing it all day, right.
Go for it. So we're all watching. My younger son is up there. Before he could jump off the top of the boat, he slipped and didn't jump out far enough and went straight down. And on the way down, he hit his arm on the side of the boat and then landed on the mat.
Ouch.
As soon as he hit the mat, he said, I broke my arm.
Aye.
And he was 11 at the time. Mm-hmm. He was 12 yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
11, 12-year-old
Yeah.
immediately knew the instant he hit that mat that he had broken his arm.
Something was wrong.
So, the dad in me, rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine.
Shawn, you're a good one.
Well, I wasn't that close.
Yeah.
So I go swimming over, and it's weird because he wasn't even crying. I think he was in such shock.
Yeah.
He wasn't really crying. And so that, to me, I was like, well,
it's not a big deal.
if he's
it's
not crying,
he's not crying, it's not
he probably
that bad.
hit his arm.
Sure.
And hurt it really bad, and it's going to bruise. So I go walking over there, and no, his forearm was bent.
Yeesh.
Like not, I would say, maybe at a 5 to 10 degree angle. I mean, it was enough that you could see it was bent.
It was definitely not straight.
It was not, there was no bones poking out through the skin, nothing gross like that. But you could clearly tell that his arm was not supposed to bend the way that it was bending.
Sure.
Well, luckily, my girlfriend was there. She's a nurse. She's an ER nurse. Another guy who was in the chapter was out there. He's a former medic and ER nurse. So the two of them were on top of him right away. We took a pool noodle. We cut it in half. We put it on each side of his arm. We took a bunch of T-shirts, wrapped up his arm to splint it.
Very nice.
We got him in the boat, pulled up anchor. We flew back to the dock. I got him in the car. I took him to the emergency room. They did an X-ray. They confirmed that it was broken. It was a clean break, but the bones were not aligned.
Oof.
So they could not reset it.
So it's that bad.
Right. So they had to send us to Children's Hospital, St. Joe's Children's Hospital here in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So my son had his first broken bone, and he had his first ambulance ride.
Nice.
And there was another first. Oh, his first, I forget. So he had his first broken bone and his first ambulance ride.
And surgery, right? Didn't they have to?
No, he's had surgery before.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, he had a lazy eye surgery
Gotcha.
right around COVID-ish time.
I gotcha. Okay.
So we got an ambulance ride. We get to St. Joe's. So this all happened Saturday around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We get to the hospital maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. We get him checked in. Now, they had to put an IV in him. I think the IV hurt more than the arm hurt. From what I hear, we did get one of the best orthopedic surgeons, pediatric orthopedic surgeons in Tampa Bay.
Shout out.
Dr. DeLucia was amazing. She went in Sunday. She had surgery Sunday. She went in. She was able to realign the bones. They had to put a small rod in there to keep the bones aligned.
Wow.
She casted it, so he's got a cast up to the middle of the top of his arm, so it above the elbow.
Yeah.
The elbow's at a right angle.
Yep.
And funny, the doctor said, "What color cast do you want?" And he looks at me with this goofy grin on his face.
Oh, boy. It's good spirits.
And he says, "Orange?" And I went, "Absolutely not." So he's got a red cast.
Bright green.
He's got a red cast. And he's been in tremendous spirits throughout this whole thing.
That sounds amazing.
So we had the surgery on Sunday. He came out of the anesthesia around 4:15, 4:30, 4:45. He came out of the anesthesia. The surgery was at about 2 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
He came out of the out of the anesthesia. He could keep down food. He could keep down drink.
That's good. Okay.
So we got him home around 6 o'clock Sunday night, and the doctor cleared him. He was at a computer coding summer camp this week. Now, we kept him home Monday just to kind of continue to give him pain medicine to keep the pain under control.
Yep.
But the doctor cleared him for the summer camp, and the doctor cleared him on Saturday. He's still scheduled to leave to take the train up to North Carolina for a Boy Scout camp.
Nice. Okay.
And the doctor cleared him for it, although the doctor said no water.
Yeah.
And then we said, well, one of the activities that he had decided to take was leatherworking. Well, you can't. He's only got the use of his left hand.
Right.
He's right-handed. He's only got the use
Things
of
you
his
got to
left
limit
hand.
yourself. So yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
Now
Okay.
he can wiggle his 4 fingers. He can kind of wiggle his thumb on his right hand on the broken arm. But he doesn't really have good use of his right hand yet. So
Sure.
we switched him from leatherworking to something else. Then I had to fill out the form that said he can have Tylenol and Motrin while he's there for pain.
Yep.
Now, the update today, he completed the 1 week computer coding camp. He spent last night at a friend's house, so he's good to spend the night, away from me. He's done it, and he knows he can do it. So the next big test will be this summer camp. And, I told him at the end of the day, I'm a plane ride away if he really, really needs me. So he's in good spirits. His pain is managed. He's now on pain pills whenever he's needed, whenever he feels a little bit of pain. When he gets back from the Boy Scout summer camp, we go on Monday back to the ortho for a follow-up. Hopefully, at that follow-up, she takes the cast down to below the elbow, so he'll have
so at
use
least a
of his
little bit
right
more.
elbow.
Yeah. Can,
And then 4 or 5 weeks after that, hopefully the cast comes off. And then we got one more surgery, November, December, to take the rod out.
nice.
But other than that,
Wow.
I mean,
What a story.
kids are resilient. And
Yeah.
so the ortho said she got everything. There were no bone fragments in there. There was no damage to any of the nerves or
It's a
any
clean.
of the,
It was a clean break.
it was a clean break that was
Great.
easily repaired.
Nice.
And so he just needs time to heal, and he should be fine.
Dude,
So that
Well, I mean,
was my
that's,
adventure.
That's only one weekend.
That was Saturday and Sunday.
Holy mackerel! Well, I mean, the good news is that obviously with the cast and stuff, I mean, the kid doesn't shower anyway, so
Right.
not having to worry about that for a few weeks is not a big deal. Good there. But what I was running through in regards to the medical expenses, I'm like, okay, an ambulance ride, we had to carry the one, ER visit, carry the one, another hospital
So-
visit.
I went through, before doing this episode, of all the different expenses.
Yeah.
And I haven't received bill number 1
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, it's coming.
So but here's what I'm thinking.
Yep,
We have the ER visit.
makes sense.
We have the X-ray.
Always.
We have probably the supplies that they used at the ER because, like, they put him in a cast, a sugar cast,
Yep.
to get him to the hospital.
Correct.
They had to put in an IV
That's cost.
to transport him. They had to give him medication through the IV, pain medication, fluids, whatever, through the IV.
Keep it going.
Then on Sunday, he had the surgery. He had
That-
anesthesia for the surgery.
Yep.
He had
The bed.
The bed. He
Yeah.
had whatever drugs they needed to give him, pain medicine
Yep.
and whatever
Yep.
for that.
Yep.
Plus, we ordered a couple of hospital meals.
Oh,
I-
definitely.
I know those are not going to be. Now, one cool thing about where we were on the wing, they had what they called a snack station.
Ooh.
It had like, what am I like gas station sandwiches?
Okay.
like turkey sandwiches.
Sure.
Microwavable mac and cheese, granola bars, cheese sticks, juices, puddings, Jello.
All good, healthy things at the hospital. I
Right.
gotta say.
All of it quote free,
Oh, okay.
which I'm
Quote is built in
well,
somewhere.
what I'm assuming is I'm not going to pay for taking a Diet Coke from the snack station,
Right.
but I'm probably paying more
In
than what I
the-
would pay any otherwise.
The bed that you're
Right.
in. Correct.
So we had all that. We had
Okay.
all the food.
Mhm.
And then I was thinking all the after events that come from a situation like this. For example, luckily, I did not have to cancel the computer coding camp.
Right.
But if I had to,
That's an expense.
who knows if I would have gotten that money back.
Correct.
Although if I had gotten that money back, the next coding camp would have been free girl math.
Yeah. You
But what if the doctor had said no, you can't go to the Boy Scout summer camp?
right.
I
That's
wasn't
another.
getting that money back.
That's not coming back. Yep.
And not only did I pay for the summer camp, but I paid for him to go on the train.
Yep.
That was all part of the summer camp experience. Like I said, yesterday I was at CVS because he was out. We've been alternating. The doctor suggested alternating between Motrin, ibuprofen,
Yeah.
to help with swelling and
Swelling
pain.
and then
the Tylenol to help with pain.
Makes sense.
The acetaminophen to help with pain.
Yep.
But he was out of kids' Tylenol. And I thought, well, I don't want him to run out of Motrin while he's at the summer camp. So
Right.
I bought Motrin and Tylenol yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the
Those expenses.
after medication.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, showering. I didn't realize, I guess I should have realized, they now make, now he did not get a waterproof cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to order him it's this plastic sleeve
Mm-hmm.
with a rubber gasket on the end of it. And so the rubber gasket stretches and then, forms over your arm to prevent water from getting in.
Yeah.
But the kid's size was not big enough to cover the entire cast.
Gotcha.
So I had to get an adult half sleeve. Well, the kid sleeve is $10. The adult sleeve is $20.
Right.
And of course, I had to order two of them
Yep.
in case one. Cause they are reusable.
Yeah.
But what if one breaks,
Yeah.
tears, gets lost? Whatever.
Of course.
So it's all of the. Once you get home, all the after supply stuff that you need.
Yeah. The other expenses that.
So those were all the expenses that I could think of about what this weekend's going to end up costing me.
And by the way, we start thinking about deductibles. We start thinking about, and you do pay for medical insurance as well. So it's
Right.
like that's on top of all of this new event that just came out of nowhere. That again, this beautiful bill that's coming, that's going to be headed towards your mailbox.
Right. Well, but here's the good news. I do have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So once I hit the deductible, I don't recall. I think my insurance is I pay the deductible, and then I believe they cover 80%
Something
above that.
Okay.
So I pay the deductible, then I still got to pay 20%
Yeah.
until I get to the total out of pocket, which I doubt
For
I'm
the
going to
year.
hit.
Yeah.
Now, that's the other interesting thing is I want to get the surgery scheduled to remove the rod in December because I don't want to eat into next year's deductible by having that surgery in January.
Love it, this guy. It's funny how we can plan. We have to plan the things out, but that makes total sense because of again, it's about dealing with insurance. So
Right.
you're gonna have to, timing wise, okay.
But
Makes
one of the things that I did that I will pat myself on the back for,
Okay, let me know.
in addition to getting health insurance coverage for me and the boys, I also got years and years ago. I got an accident policy on the boys.
Interesting.
So as soon as I get those bills in to pay the deductibles, I can then make a claim on the accident policy
What?
and get some reimbursement
There you
to
go.
either pay or offset the deductibles. that I
You
have to
are
pay.
not a fool, my friend, for that. You were thinking like, who sold me this bridge?
Every month I write that check to the accident policy, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Is this?
And then as I'm in the ER, I'm like, thank goodness I have that accident policy.
You just never know. You never know. We always look at those kind of costs. Is like, is it the value? But when you need it and it's there, the opportunity. I definitely want to hear in the future, how that worked, how that went. Obviously, we're going to need some follow-up conversations regarding cost because that's the biggest scary thing as, even if you're employed and getting insurance through your employer. But as you're your own boss, my friend. So you have to get insurance. Going through the marketplace, costs are skyrocketing when it comes to medical debt. We already know medical debt is high. That's out there. Bills. I think what they say, 36% of households have medical debt.
Yeah.
So you're now added to the statistic
I'm
now.
added to that statistic.
And now the scary part is like you got insurance. Do I have insurance? First of all, because again, costs are so high.
Right.
What are we doing, when it comes to insurance? Like, what if you didn't have insurance and this kind of, this kind of situation happened?
Well, and I can tell you, having gone through it, I wasn't thinking about what it was going to cost at the time. I was thinking, make my son better. Fix my boy.
Totally makes sense.
I wasn't thinking about, what is that cup of orange juice going to cost? What is that dose of Tylenol going to cost? What is the IV bag going to cost? I was thinking, get my boy out of pain and fix his arm. That's all I was thinking. So, for somebody that doesn't have medical insurance, I could see them thinking, I had medical insurance, so the cost of what it was was not the most important factor.
Yeah.
But I can imagine somebody without medical insurance going, wait a minute, let's skip this round of Tylenol to save, the $200 I'm going to get paid, I'm going to get charged for the, one pill. And I don't know if that's what it costs, but
there's definitely a lot of zeros added to those. And I think that's what gets people worried. And this is where when you don't have the right coverage, when you're not having, because we're trying to make ends meet. That's kind of where we're at today. I think a lot of folks are debating insurance and rolling the risk, but you weren't planning for your son to have an accident like this. It's just life is going to happen. You need to have these types of protections in place so that you don't have to have that worry.
Yeah, nobody. And it was funny. I remember thinking for 2 seconds, my attorney brain turned on. And I remember thinking
who am I suing? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's not. And I will say on the record, it was a pure accident.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I'm just kidding.
If anybody was at fault, my son slipped.
Yeah.
And if you want to go deeper than that in terms of blame, I could have said, it might be dangerous. No, don't
be careful.
do it, or
Correct.
be careful, or whatever.
Yep.
But literally, no, nobody was at fault. But what my attorney brain kept thinking is, are they going to believe me in the story on how he broke his arm? Or am I going to get, children and families coming out to the house saying, are you beating your son?
Yeah, you definitely overthinking.
I was completely over. But
obviously you have witnesses. There's people who can corroborate. I get all that.
I was nowhere near the boat when he jumped. Yeah. I was kind of watching from a distance, close enough that I could swim over there inside of 30 seconds.
Sure.
But no, there were. I told the absolute true version of the story, and I've got 150 corroborating witnesses if I need it as well. But that was one of the thoughts that came through my head is that, are these people gonna? Is the story? The story's the truth, so I had no worries about that. But I was kind of overthinking and worried about being judged a little bit.
My man is overthinking a little bit, but it's okay. But obviously that's the least of your problems in that situation. But it's okay. I'm glad it was brief. You moved on, and I'm glad that I'm glad your son is feeling better. He's obviously a trooper in all of this. But for many folks, when we talk about the importance of having insurance, this is a good example of why it's important. Now, the problem we run into, though, is insurance is still expensive, man.
Right.
How are you? Again, you're an entrepreneur and stuff. You own your own business. How are you managing some of these medical costs? Just when we talk about insurance, we know the importance of it, but how are you navigating through some of that?
I ended up getting a really good insurance agent, health insurance agent that helped walk me. I've got a marketplace plan.
Yep.
And not only do I have a marketplace plan, but I had to get marketplace plans for the boys as well.
Yeah.
My agent also got me the accident plan. And so, every month I pay a deductible for each one of the boys and then the deductible for me. We're all on the same. And that was actually one of the...
Or premium.
Yeah, did I say deductible?
You said deductible.
I meant premium.
Yeah, I knew what you're saying. I'm looking at you, and I'm like, wait, that's
no,
but premium. Gotcha.
I pay premiums for each of us, and it gave me the peace of mind that I needed. That when I needed it, it was there. Now, the interesting thing I remember, right now, the three of us are on the same. We have the same insurance carrier, the same underwriter.
Yep.
Last year, the boys were on the same underwriter that they have now. Their insurance continued. We were with a company called Ambetter.
Yep.
Last year, I was with a different company. I was not with Ambetter. And we talk about the cost of being healthy. I'm still dealing with my the high blood pressure, the diabetes, all that kind of stuff. Well, when we were going over insurance options, my insurance agent said, "Well, the insurance company you had last year doesn't cover your prescriptions anymore. It doesn't cover this one prescription anymore."
Sure.
So now we had to hunt around and find another insurance carrier that would cover all of my diabetes prescriptions, and it ended up being Ambetter, was the same company.
Luckily.
But that was one of the frustrations with the marketplace, is that the carriers can kind of dictate
Yes.
They offer plans on the marketplace, but you really got to be careful
Like who takes your plan?
Right, who
What
takes the
prescription
plan?
is covered.
And actually, it's funny because I remembered one of our previous episodes, and I almost asked about whether the anesthesiologist and the doctor and all these people were in network or not.
Yeah.
But then I remembered they can't surprise you with an out of network person.
Yeah.
If the anesthesiologist was out of network, they got to tell you beforehand.
Right. You can't. Right.
Right. They can't surprise you with it, and they didn't. So I felt a little comfortable.
Yeah.
With that. And I may negotiate down the medical bills
Right.
when I get them.
We've had those conversations with
Right.
previous about negotiating those bills. Yeah.
Right. Are you charging me for the right thing? Are you
Right.
putting in the right medical codes? And the other thing that I thought of, if I tend to itemize my deductions, I tend not to take the standard deduction. I am, I don't know whether you want to call it lucky enough or not, to take the itemized deductions.
Yeah.
All of these medical bills are deductions.
Ah,
Now, I don't know if the accident policy is income.
true.
I have to double check that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know that all the medical bills I pay are going to be deductions. So next year on my tax return,
Hopefully you get some of that back, or
Hopefully
at
I get
least there's some coverage there.
right?
Gotcha.
And
Makes
actually,
sense.
as I think about it right now, no, my son got braces last year. My older son got braces last year. So the Yesner household is supporting a lot of the medical professionals in Tampa Bay right now.
I mean, again, we pay for these services, we pay for these insurances for that purpose. Obviously, we want to use them. It's just making sure that we have. First of all, you're making sure you have the right coverage, right? So you're working with an insurance agent to say, like, here, here's what the boys need. Here's what you need. What needs to be covered. What can't be covered. That kind of thing. So at least working with someone who's a professional makes you understand exactly what's there, because a lot of folks, you're thinking like, oh, I'll just go to the internet. I'll let chat handle my stuff, and it's like, it's good. Those things are good tools, but in these, for such important decisions like this, it's always good to have someone who's an expert. They'll look for they've got a connection. They can go here.
Right.
Have you thought about this type of insurance? It's right away. When we look, it's only about the high level. We're only looking like, oh, well, if that's the only option I have, I'm done. I'm not going to do this. And there's a lot of people who are still, again, it is expensive. This is not something that's a cheap investment. But at the same time, I'm like, aren't you glad that you have it in place?
No,
it's the same thing as car insurance.
Yeah.
You're going to be glad when it's in place, when you actually need it.
It's one of those things that I hate paying, but I was so glad that I had it, and they took care of him, and he'll be on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
He'll be back to 100%. He'll be back to being a little kid. Hopefully, I believe that by the time he starts school in August, the cast will be off. And we told him he's got one little scar, like on his wrist, where they had to go in to put the rod in, and then he's got one little scar around his mid forearm where they had to repair the bone.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the scars yet because
it's covered up.
They're covered up by the cast. But the line is chicks dig scars.
He'll be fine. He's
be fine.
He's got a story.
Yeah.
That he could say that he was he was out on war. And he was doing
so it was funny. We kept thinking when we were in the hospital, we kept thinking up stories of, and so we were on the sandbar itself, and he had to fight a bear.
There you go, love it.
We were swimming in the ocean, and he had to fight off a shark. So we were thinking of all the different.
Dad, that one
reasons.
time I dunked on you, and I dunked so hard that I broke my arm.
Right.
It was so much force. Yeah, that's again whatever good story he can make.
We were thinking of all the reasons. Although the reason that we gave, he was doing a triple Lutz, triple Lundy, whatever, off the top of
the top of a boat.
Top of the boat, and
Pretty
hit
cool.
wrong. At first, I thought he hit it. He just landed funny on the mat.
Right. That's
But a couple other
Luckily,
people that
too.
saw him fall, and it's actually, I'm almost kind of, if he was going to break his arm, doing it the way he did, having a clean break, if he had landed on the mat, that's where you might get the crushed bones and bone fragments. So, you never want your kids to break their arm, but he did it in a way that appears to
will be a benefit. You know, it would be good. He'll be able to heal, and everything's going to be just fine.
You know, PSA. We were talking to the to the surgeon, the orthopedic surgeon, on Sunday after the surgery. You know what she said her number one surgery cause is right now?
Please.
E-bikes.
Oh, that's
E-bikes
I'm
and
hearing a lot of that too. Yep, I'm hearing a lot of that too.
Because they go so fast
Yeah.
that the kids don't look both ways. And if you're driving a car,
you don't see
it till it's right in front of you. She had one kid die the week prior from an e-scooter accident.
Wow.
She had one kid that she had to amputate the foot because the foot was not salvageable from an e-scooter accident. So PSA for all the parents out there, you want to avoid some medical bills. Make sure your kids either do not buy them an e-scooter, or if you buy them an e-scooter, make sure they are 1,000% safe on that. My son got one, my younger son, which now he can't use for however many months.
It's gonna be off.
But
commission.
but I told him you are always in a helmet. Number one. Number two, if I see anybody with you on that scooter, no, you lose the scooter. Mm-hmm. Number three, you must look both ways. You must be aware of everything around you. No earbuds in while you're scootering. No nothing.
It's those are little things that make total sense. But because for me, I think growing up for us, it was like we didn't have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we were always, paying attention to our surroundings. That was something my mom always taught as well. Nowadays, it's kind of like, I'm earbuds. I don't want to hear. I'm going to listen to my music, or not paying attention. Or hey, the rules of the road are really good to follow once in a while, even for the parents. But boy,
so the issue is the e-scooter, the pedestrian, the bicyclist, they all have the right of way.
Yeah.
But when you hit a however many ton car,
and you're going, and those things can go 35 miles an hour. They're pretty
some
fast.
of those e-scooters can go 20, 30 miles an hour.
So that
now, there is also, by the way, my son has an app that also helps run the e-scooter. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to go in.
There's restrictions.
You can set the max speed through the app.
Dad, do your dad thing. It's close to Father's Day, my friend. It is time to give you the gift of restrictions.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. So meanwhile, in the middle of all this, I think he said his 12th birthday. Now, luckily, we had his birthday party like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so it's not.
So, but that would have been, one of the after effects. What if his birthday party was this weekend and now he's
probably would have missed.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not just to kind of bring it full circle. It wasn't just the cost of the accident, but it was also the cost of everything that happened after the accident.
Yep.
All those unforeseen costs that we didn't think of. But at the end of the day, he's recovering. He's doing well.
Love it.
His pain is managed. Doctor says he'll make a full recovery.
Beautiful.
He can go to all of his summer camps and be with all of his friends. So I guess all's well that ends well.
Great story. Great lesson in coverage and getting that. The only thing I would drop as the last tip is it's okay to have an emergency fund.
True.
And maybe now a little extra one that says medical emergency fund, because having kids are expensive. We already know that.
Right.
And I'd like to be more proactive when it comes to some of those expenses. Maybe cover the deduction, cover those, so you don't have to have, again, you don't want these events to become a how are we going to pay for it moment. Right. So these are the moments where it's like, I just want the coverage. I want the protection. I want to be in the moment to help the family member and not worry about are we going to be broke? Is this going to be, this is the time that we're not going to have money anymore.
Well, and I will say that I just transferred a whole bunch of money because we're about to start. We're doing a renovation to our back patio.
Yep.
So I just transferred a bunch of money to make the deposits on that. So I knew, I felt comfortable knowing, number one, I have a decent chunk of money in savings if I need it. That's what it's for.
That's there.
Number two, the guy that owns the boat did offer. Now, I declined because it was a pure accident, but he did offer to help cover some of the medical expenses.
Oh, that's sweet.
I knew I have the accident coverage I can make a claim on.
Yep.
I knew my mom would help out if I needed it. I knew I had that money in my account from for the patio renovation, and I've got more money in the with the financial advisor that's not tied up in retirement accounts. It's liquid.
Yeah, good.
So it was comfortable knowing I've got the insurance, so do what you need to do, and I've got the money behind me if I need it.
It's
there.
Love it.
And that helped comfort me so that all I had to focus on was that my son was getting the right care.
Dude, that's for me. That's the ultimate scenario for you to be in, and that's what we can recommend everyone else to. These are the things where most people these become crises because we just don't prepare,
Right.
and it's, dude, it is that simple.
Yeah.
But we have to be disciplined enough to put some of these things in place. So good kudos to you, obviously, and I'm glad your son's doing okay, and he's gonna have some great stories to tell in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. He'll definitely have some stories to tell. So, with that, if you want to help me pay for the accident, you can always go to patreon.com/crushingdebt.
Every donation will help your son. I love that.
Every donation goes back into the show. And we still have, I think this episode comes out the end of June, so we'll still have another week or so for those of you that want to donate to the 2026 Purple Stride PanCan Cancer Walk. And then PanCan shuts it down for a few months, and then we'll start back up with the 2027 walk. I'll have those details. Other than that, I think we're pretty much done.
I am super happy for you.
Yeah.
Go USA, and
go Knickerbockers.
Go Knickerbockers with your big baggy pants, and yeah, dude, yeah, let's enjoy the summer. Yeah,
Yep.
please stay away from boats for a little while.
I'm going to stay away from boats for a little while, and I think that the boat owner has banned jumping off the top of his boat.
Might be a good idea.
At least until memories fade. He's banned it until memories fade. But I think that'll do it for this week's episode. I hope that I have more money at the end of this month than month at the end of the money. And we will talk to you in next week's episode of the podcast.